Alright, hi everybody. It is, well, Bonk on 922. This is a live stream for Game of Thrones. Crazy fucking episode. You guys go check that out. This is going to be Jojo. I was busy this weekend, so I had reviews are going to be late. Not that late. This one is going to be only 3 days, give or take. How you look at it. And yeah. Also, I want to mention I might be doing not this week. Depending on how things go around the, I guess, community. The following week, maybe. Video on the community. But I can't make any promises on that. But yeah. Okay, this episode of JoJo. Blue Dark Moon. Or is it Dark Blue Moon? Let me go check that. Make sure I got it right. Dark Blue Moon. Now, this one was, there was one scene in this episode that I just look at and I say to myself, you know, I mean, this was a great episode, don't get me wrong. Because you had this guy, Dark Blue Moon, stand user, and he's basically the captain of the ship. And I thought that fight was pretty interesting, what was going down with it. But this one scene, I'm like, really? Really? The scene is Jotaro is smoking a cigarette. And they censor it. They basically put a dark shadow over him when he's smoking a cigarette. I'm like, but gonna give this 3.5 out of 5. Because of that. Because yeah, I mean, this episode was good. It's just, you know, censorship there doesn't make any sense. I'm like, is it because he's a high school kid? That's why they're censoring it? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. But this episode started with them on the boat, essentially, and they encounter this girl, who I believe is in the manga, and she's a stowaway pretty much, and not really the captain, one of the guys, tossing and turning with her and stuff, and what ends on happening is, she gets pushed overboard, and Jotaro saves her, and like he notices that, because she looks like a boy, and he realizes she's not a boy, she's a girl, and what ends on happening, and he brings her back to, you know, she's like tries to slap him, he blocks it, because he knows that she's a girl, and what had happened, she was going to get attacked by a shark. And Jotaro just destroyed the shark. And something came out of the shark. And that was kind of censored too, in a way. And later you find out what came out of the shark. So basically that's what happened there. And he saves her. They do this exchange with the slapping and shit. And gets her back on board. And that's when there's this thing with the captain. And he takes her, he's about to take her away, and then we get the censorship with the smoking cigarette. And he, you know, he was being a jackass, the captain. You're like, come on. He takes the cigarette from Jotaro, almost said Joten. And he basically, on his hat, I was like, but, yeah. And as far as the censorship is concerned, that, I think, is stupid. There is no reason for that. Because, first of all, like, they're basing this on the conception that Jotaro is a high schooler. But he looks like he's 20. But anyway, that's what ends on happening. I mean, I give it a 3.5 this episode. Not to say it was bad. It's just the censorship there kind of irked me, and but still good episode. So he does that, and pretty much we find out from this captain, because Jotaro basically plays him, that he is a stand user. Yeah, and this was interesting because it was Dark Blue Moon, and pretty much the stand this guy had, who was pretending to be the captain of the ship, was a underwater stand. And it was kind of weird. And he grabs the girl pretty much and threatens to jump off with her, and you're going to come after me, and I'm going to basically kill all of you. He basically says. He essentially can with his abilities. And Jotaro punches the hell out of this guy, but Star Platinum right before they hit the water. And I'm like, fight's over. Or is it? When he hit the guy's stand, all of a sudden his hand gets really heavy and shit, and it feels like it's gonna break. Barnacles. This tripped me out. I was like, yo, barnacles start forming on Jotaro Stand's hand. And that's when it gets interesting. As he's holding the girl up. This is happening. So apparently the guy's not dead. And when he hit him, he planted those barnacles. And the barnacles, basically what they do is they absorb his energy, his strength. So on and so forth. And he basically brings Jotaro back right into the water. And that's when we get this epic battle scene. This was pretty interesting, to say the least. And I found it intriguing that I like how Jotaro fought this guy. That's what I really liked about this episode. Because it really felt like there was this one part when, you know, he's struggling and shit, and he's getting cut up, the barnacles all over his body and shit. His Jotaro stand, Star Platinum. And, Joseph's asking, oh, he's not struggling. Like, I think it was, I don't think it was, it was, Kankion? What's his name? Kankion Noriaki. He said that, oh, he was limp, Jotaro. And then Joseph's basically saying, oh, but he's not struggling. So that might be good. And essentially, yeah, it was good. Because what happened was, Jotaro basically used, he basically used, this Dark Blue Moon's scales because that's what happened. It basically started cutting him up and shit to a point where it cut off the barnacles off his hand, and he was able to use his fingers and basically, another thing in this episode that I really liked was they had the whole thing from last season. Season 2. Remember the whole thing, oh, I know what you're thinking? They put that was still in there. That was still in this episode. I really enjoyed that part. That was kind of interesting. And what ends on happening is he uses the scales because they basically in this whirlpool kind of thing. And outside the whirlpool are these scales all around. And you can't get in there because of the scales. They're sharp as freaking razors. And he uses the scales, Jotaro, to cut part of the barnacles off. And he uses like 2 fingers. 2 freaking fingers to kill Dark Blue Moon. And the guy's like, he basically, I think it was Jotaro, he told him, I'll turn you into sashimi. I was like, yeah, it's awesome. Just the whole process of fighting this guy was done really well. I thought when Jotaro was fighting him, there were certain instances during the fight where he was able to compose himself. He was able to get in a certain area or position to the center of that whirlpool to defeat him. And able to use Dark Blue Moon's own attacks to his advantage to get rid of some of the barnacles. And he basically shoots him in the eye and he pretty much kills him. And that's pretty much what ends on happening. And then basically he gets out of the water, Jotaro, And Joseph's asking, "Oh, Jotaro, and so on and so forth." And what ends on happening is a ship pulls in, and that's where the episode ends. Also, but before that happens, the ship exploded because of bombs and shit, and they were on these boats. And that girl they saved, she's kind of a snob, but she kind of, I guess she's thankful for what they did for her, and everything, and basically they helped her, and that's when they see this ship come in, and I think this part is leading up to what I remember from the OVA. This was in the OVA coming up, so I could see that. I could see certain things happening. Then that's kind of like a spoiler what I just said, but hey, because with this ship, I just noticed. And next week the episode's gonna be called Strength. Oh, good episode, but I wish that they didn't have that censorship. That was stupid. Listen, why? Because it's a cigarette? Because he's supposedly in high school? Just no. That's just stupid. Stupid and retarded. You get my gist. That was my brother's phone. It's fucking ringing. It's the fucking hook. Anyway. Yeah, like I said. Stupid, retarded. There's no reason to put that there. You know what I mean? There's no reason for it. It would make more sense if it was for violence, gore. That makes more sense for censorship. Not for a cigarette. Like what's going on there, It's just silly. But good episode nonetheless. 3.5 out of 5 because, the censorship kind of irked me. But, yeah. Good episode. Nothing else to add here. Also, I really enjoyed the fight. I thought the underwater fight was pretty awesome. That was special. Especially, like I said, Jotaro. How he was able to fight this guy. How he was able to go in his territory, and he didn't, sweat it. He didn't sweat the small stuff. He went in there, and he took care of business. So, yeah, it was a good episode. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's really nothing else to add here. Bankai Night 22. See you guys later. This Friday is Godzilla. Thought I mentioned that. I think we're going to be doing something. Yeah. According to the all-wise certain individual. So I might be doing something with the guys, But we'll see about that. Anyway, Bankai Night 2. See you guys later. Jotaro, he took care of Dark Blue Moon. That little girl, was just... she was kind of being a bitch. Yay! But still a good episode. Just the censorship. I'm Bankai Night 22, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.